What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video today. Today is going to be the NISMO seat cover install video. I'm starting on the interior of my GTR, and this is the GTR build that I'm going to be doing over the summer. The videos I'm going to put up are going to be approximately every 10 days. The videos are either going to be Evo related or GTR related or JDM related in some way. So some months there'll be 2 GTR videos, some months there'll be 1 GTR video. This is all going to culminate this summer with my coverage of GTR Fest in Texas in November. So make sure you stay glued to this channel, and especially if you'd like to check out that meet down in Texas, that's going to be a first. All the Australian cars are coming over. I think there's sponsorships from PRP, so there's bound to be some good cars there. And the Australian guys don't come to North America very often, so it's going to be a cool meet, and I'm going to be heading down there in person to cover it. So stay glued to my channel and enjoy my NISMO seat cover review. Well, GTR dreams make the girls scream. These GTR dreams make the girls scream. Hard park on the street, you're gonna feel the heat. Spend money on this car, I'm gonna go real far. Away from old theft with my honey to the left. It's Friday night, watch my ride up right. Not starting any fights, heading out all night. GTR dreams make the girls scream. Okay, so very obviously this is a seats out type thing that we're doing today. So I pulled the first one. Okay, there we are. So for the seat removal on the R32 GTR, very simple. 14mm socket. There's one cover on the back that you just very delicately remove with your hands. It's just clipped on there, and you have a nut, 3 bolts, and that's it. The seat comes out. Don't forget that there is the seatbelt sensor. So it's a 2-wire plug that's under there, so don't just yank the seat out. Delicately lean it back, reach underneath, and you just unclip the 2-wire seatbelt sensor, and then you can pull the whole thing out. All right, so make sure that you place the seat somewhere that you can easily manipulate it. I just threw mine up on a plastic table. They aren't very heavy overall, so don't be too concerned about that. First thing that you're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver. According to the directions, we're going to have to take the screws off of the trim piece that surrounds the base of the seat. All right, so you pull the 2 screws out. Those are right here, right here. Okay, what that allows is for this trim piece to be pulled back a little bit to allow for the seat cover to be sort of stuck behind it. Okay, so from the underside of the seat, make sure that you pull the back of the cushion, the cover around the back of the cushion, and do not pull from the straps. Grab onto the fabric and pull with a bigger area. You do not want to rip the straps off. Okay, so now in this position with the seat slightly folded, you can get quite a bit of space to work the seat cover over top of the cushion. Just take your time. Okay guys, keep in mind that these seat covers, at least for the base of the seat, do have a left and a right orientation. So I'm sure for the tops, given that the side area here has a different shape than the side area here, the top of the seat covers probably have an orientation too. So I was struggling with this a bit. It went on okay, but it's the wrong side. So for the driver's side seat, if you look at the side with the adjustment, it should not have this hook. It should be this one with this strip of padding. So take a look at that. The covers actually aren't marked left and right, so you just have to figure it out. So yeah, save yourself some time. Take a look at this video. Right here, this little padded ridge, driver's seat goes on this side, not this hook. All right, so let's continue on. So as you put the base seat covers on, just look for this ridge. So this ridge is going to be what tucks underneath this plastic. Okay, so very obvious. So when the fastener is back in there, this is what holds the seat cover on, amongst other things like the straps. Okay, so on the base of the seat, one of the semi-tricky things to do is to anchor the hook. Now, what you're going to do with this big plastic hook is you're going to do exactly what the factory did. Okay, see how it's hooked on this bar? So what you're going to do is flip it 180 degrees and then insert it and hook it right there. Okay, once you're able to hook it on, just remember this corner piece has a little elastic relief. It's meant to go over this very corner part right here on the seat. So it's a little pocket, so make sure that that goes on there. Okay, so this small pocket hooked on the corner, and the big hook is right here. And once again, moving along to the back, give this a good pull. Again, not pulling on the straps, just grabbing onto the fabric and giving it a nice pull. It'll pop into place around the back of the cushion. Okay, so for the under seat straps, the side ones go through right behind the spring. And between the bar here, there's a relief. Okay, you could probably use this sticker as reference from Nissan. Basically, right below the sticker is where the strap comes through. On the corresponding side, at the bottom, same idea, right there. Okay, so let's do up the straps. Okay, so straps are on. Seat base is pretty tight. Now you just reinstall these two fasteners. This one, you can go right into where the factory hole is. The fabric isn't far enough this way that it interferes with the screw. On this side, you have to kind of make a choice. You could push the fabric in, blast the screw through the fabric and into the factory hole, or you could do what I'm going to do and just put it in with the fabric up a little bit so that I don't have a point where the fabric may tear. But you could be brave and just jam it right through. Okay, so the bottom of the seat's on. I'm going to move along to the top here. So basically the first step would be to pull out these, well, what the translation in Japanese is, it's brush clip, but that's basically a push-in clip. There are two at the top, two at the bottom. I'm going to use the supplied NISMO trim tool to pry them up and hope they don't break. Okay, after giving this a try with the NISMO trim tool, I found that they weren't going to be coming out very easily without breaking them, so I moved over to a proper trim tool right here. And they came out without breaking, so that's nice. They are simple automotive interior push lock finned type fasteners, so they would be very easy to replace if you do break them, but you also then have to extract the plastic piece that's in there. So just take your time. Mine came out without breaking, but you ought to use the correct trim tool for that. Now, what the directions say is that that center garnish for where the seat belts would pass through, if you had harness, that garnish is supposed to pop out the back. Okay, with some coercing, it does come out the back here. Just like that. Okay, and with that center garnish out for the harness pass through, you slip this thing over top. Just like the seat base, the expectation is that it goes right over top of the stock fabric, so you don't have to trouble yourself with dealing with this old fabric being removed. Okay, so there is a point in the seat install that's a bit on the difficult side, and it is these pass-throughs. So for the pass-throughs, what you have to do is wrap them prior to putting them back in the seat. Now that's extremely challenging. So basically what NISMO wants you to do is put this in the center of the pass-through, like inside out, and then fold it around the pass-through. Now it's almost, well, I would say it's impossible for a normal person who doesn't do upholstery to get it in there without wrinkles, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to install it and see how good or bad it is. But it is going to be a tiny bit wrinkled. I don't see a way around that. I could get some steam, but I don't know how this fabric's going to react to that and being stretched. So yeah, that's just going to be how it is. Okay, so the pass-through, you're going to have trouble with it. You're going to have to use the trim tool very liberally. Just be careful that you don't push too hard and pierce this stuff. I didn't, but I'm sure it's very possible. Just start in the center and work your way around to tuck it. I didn't put the clips back in because, you know what, it would be next to impossible to find those holes again. So, and it's so unbelievably tight to fit this garnish back in that it's really not going to go anywhere. So, but if you're able to do it, take your time. You could measure where the holes are and take a gamble. I don't want to cut a hole in the wrong spot and have the clip not go in. So I'm just going to leave it. The garnish is not coming out. Oh, it is tight. So it took me about 30 minutes to work that in, and it tightens up the whole top of the seat. So yeah, this is where we're at. The center is a little bit loose, but not crazy. I'm gonna try and tighten up the Velcro on the back a bit, which should pull this a bit tight. But overall, the seat looks okay. So yeah. So now we're gonna do the second one the same way and move along to the back seat. Okay, so 2 are done. So as far as a timeline for these, I would say give yourself about 3 hours. It should take at least 2 hours for the first one, and then you'll definitely be faster on the second one. So far, I'm pretty happy with the kit. Overall, it fits nice. It's obviously not going to be perfect. It's going over top of old fabric, but overall, it's a pretty tight fit. The only thing I really struggled with was the pass-throughs, like I'd said earlier. And then now the second part is going to be the back seat, which I've already removed. So here's the back seat. Now, just some tips on removing the back seat. on the R32 GTR. These little hooks aren't really attached to anything. They're wedged underneath the back of the seat, which is here. Underneath the cushion, there's one small hook on each side. Now these hooks you can't really be too gentle with if you're going to actually get the seat out. Basically, you're going to get a big screwdriver, slide it under the cushion, and kind of give it a good pry straight up. And that'll dislodge it from the clips. Just to show you guys the clips that I'm talking about, they are right here. Okay, so you slide a screwdriver in here and give it a good crack straight up. On the other side, same thing. Okay, when you get the seat cover out, first thing you want to do is undo all of the straps, the back, and then you want to try and find the reliefs for the hooks, which are right here. That'll give you an idea of which direction this is supposed to go. Okay, so what you want to look for is those reliefs for the hooks. So you're going to put those over top of the metal hooks and then flip the rest over top of the cushion, making sure not to bury all of the straps. Okay, so once you have it on, flip the seat over and do up the straps. So this is gonna pull the cover towards the center. And then the final step is to use this, which is basically a drawstring. It goes through piping that goes around the whole seat. So what that's gonna do is pull the cover under the seat so that it can't be seen. So because you're on a corner here, what I would do is loop it through this metal hook right here. Like so. So that once you pull it tight, it'll also pull this corner in. Okay, and then again, use the metal framing of the seat to your advantage. Put the drawstring underneath so it stays close to the seat. It doesn't get caught on anything upon installation or removal. Now, once you pull that drawstring tight, the NISMO manual says to tie these two strings together. I'm not going to do that. There is metal frame, a piece of metal frame that runs sort of north-south along the seat. That's where I would tie it to. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So pull it tight. Pull that drawstring tight. And then tie it off in the metal frame. That way it's not in the center where the transmission tunnel is. If you tie it in the center like the manual says, what's going to happen when you install it is that cord is going to be forced down, it'll shorten, and if you have it really tight, it might tear the seat. So I'd rather not deal with that. So that's how I'm going to be doing it. Okay, then you flip the seat over, and this is what you have. It's pretty tight. Very nice. Any little sort of bumps from packaging will work itself out when the upholstery heats up. But overall, it's pretty tight fitting. Turned out nice. So let's move on to the seat back. So behind the scenes, to make these videos possible, I've taken on a sponsor, and that is AFR AutoWorks in Red Deer, Alberta. So if you guys want to support the channel and you want to support vendors that support this channel and help me make videos, head on over to AFR AutoWorks store, check out some of their promotional items, maybe buy a hat, some gear, And whatever purchases you make will come back on me and this channel and help support me make videos. So if you do like the channel and you do like the content, make sure you support the vendors and the sponsors that support me and my channel. So head on over to AFR Auto Works store. Thanks. Okay, so this is the back cushion for the rear seat. Getting ready to recover it. That's going to be our last piece that we need to do. So taking this out of the car, these two hooks, 10mm bolt, 10mm bolt, and then basically this cushion goes straight up, and there's a hook at the back right at the center that it's actually on the car is the hook. The receiving point is just right on the center here. And that'll pop right out. Not hard to get out. And let's get at recovering it. Okay, so the last cover here. Again, we're going to start by undoing all the buckles and then looking for these reliefs. And these are going to correspond with the hooks at the bottom of the cushion. And that'll give us some orientation for the cover and kind of the direction it should be going. All right, so we got everything undone, got it flipped over. What we're going to be doing is matching this up with the hooks right here and then pulling it over the top of the cushion and flipping it over so that we can do everything up. So now looking at the straps that we need to use to tighten this up, there's a few routing suggestions that the directions have. All of them sort of make sense. So with the straps that are coming off the top of the seat, what you would want to do is pass them underneath this metal bar. What that's going to do is keep the fabric nice and tight to this angle here that we have. Okay, so tighten those down, and then on the sides, I'm going to take these Velcro straps. I'm going to go across to this bar and delicately pulling the fabric and then looping that. And finally, the last thing that we're going to do is use these elastics here and the S-clips that came with the kit to again fasten it to this metal frame. So we'll finally be using these that came with the kit. All right, so strap here attached, the metal frame, the Velcro cross straps here. All done. I'll take a look at how it looks. All right, so turned out pretty good. And again, some of the wrinkles that you see are just from the item being folded for 10 plus years. As I said earlier, the certificate of authenticity says 2010 manufacture date. So it's kind of dead stock, I guess. All right, let's take a look at this sort of assembled. I'm not going to put it back in the car, but I'll just prop it up so everyone can see. All right, so there's the back seat. Looks pretty good. Two front seats. Oh, well, there you have it. So I think overall, the kit is pretty good for what you're paying. You got to think that nowadays, doing upholstery on two front seats and a back seat is probably in the thousands of dollars. So I would say at least double the price of this kit, because there's some pretty complicated lines on these seats. The back seat is sunken down and has like a three-dimensional type design. It's almost like two small buckets in the back. So taking that to a upholstery shop and getting them to do a custom job, I would say $2,000 to $3,000 for two front seats and a back seat. Yeah, so I think overall the price point, even if you're spending $1,500 on this, which is, from what I can tell, the top price point out there, if you were to order it, you're still ahead, especially since custom job is going to be double that, I would say. So I think overall the quality is good. The materials, we'll see how they stand up. It's sort of a, like I said, it's kind of a pleather of sorts with a suede, which is probably going to be a fake suede insert. There is some padding on the back of the covers, so it should be fairly soft. So I think overall, especially in a car that you don't drive every day, a lot of these cars aren't daily drivers. I would assume that the wear qualities are going to be pretty good, but I guess we'll see. So thanks for watching the video today. So keep in mind that there's going to be a video out every 10 days. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so that you get warned every time I put up a video. And as well, come visit me on my Instagram at Ranch Rampage. Have a good night.